And joining us now is Joe Daniels, President, CEO of the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, which is also being built at Ground Zero. Joe, good to have you with us this morning. Let's just say all those iron workers, everybody working at that site since the day of those attacks, does such tremendous work down there.
Absolutely. I mean, their connection, both in helping with the recovery, clearing that pile for the 9-month period, and then coming back to rebuild the site, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Like we saw there, Brian Lyons, who's been there since that day when he lost his brother. You met with the president yesterday. What did the president say to you?
You know, I had the opportunity to thank him on behalf of all the construction workers, all the folks that work on the memorial, and I told him that when people like President Obama come down to the site, whether it's the president or when the Pope came down or even the Queen last summer, it makes a site that is already so sacred that much more special, and all of us feel it.
People who come here from around the world to see this memorial, what's going to strike them?
I think that it's the way the whole memorial comes together. The two footprints, the two reflecting pools, which will be the largest man-made waterfalls in the country, those were the spots where the towers stood. To have the names of the 2,982 victims around the pools in a grove of trees with the falling water, it's going to be a peaceful place. It's going to be a place where people come together just like they came together after 9/11.
Let's talk about the names, because I know that was a source of controversy over the last few months. You've now made a decision on how the names will be placed. What was that decision, and how will they be grouped?
Essentially, the groupings go by the relationships that these people had in life. So all the folks on the flights are grouped together. All the folks that, for example, worked at Cantor Fitzgerald are grouped together. And then within those groupings, we asked family members if they had a request for a name to be next to another name. So there's heartbreaking stories like a woman Abigail Ross, who lost both her father, who was on Flight 11, and her best friend, Stacey Lee Sanders, who was working at Marsh & McLennan. Now, forever on the memorial, those two names are going to be next to each other, which hopefully provides some measure of comfort to the families. And that's just one example of scores.
We've seen some of the animations here just in the last couple of seconds of what it's going to look like when it's complete. What can people expect on the 10-year anniversary? What will they see at that point?
I think, you know, our goal has always been a memorial that makes this city, this state, and this country proud. And I think on the 10-year anniversary, there'll be hundreds of trees in place. The pools will be done. It will really look like a finished memorial. There will be construction afterwards on the surrounding buildings. But even then, when you're on the Memorial Plaza and you're seeing the names in the water, you'll be able to look up at One World Trade Center, and you're going to see the World Trade Center get rebuilt around you. So I think it's going to be a pretty special time.
Below ground, which won't be ready by the 10th anniversary, has a number of signature pieces. The survivor staircase, the final column that was removed from the site after they cleared out after 9/11. Other things of that nature. That's going to be what, within the next year, 18 months after?
Our goal is that on the 11th anniversary, it's going to be a pretty significant event again. That's when we want to open the museum. And you're absolutely right. The way we're telling this story is through the authentic artifacts that were collected on that day and afterwards. And when events happen like the killing of bin Laden, that's such a big part of this story now. And part of our job at the museum is to make sure that we are ready on the day that we open to have that part in the exhibition.
Because it's not just about a look back at what happened, but it's also about looking into the future, correct?
Exactly, and the military that were so brave that took out bin Laden. I mean, I wish, if I had any wish right now, other than meeting the president yesterday, my next one is I'd love to be able to talk to the guys that carried out that mission. It was incredible, incredible bravery.
We'll add you to the list. It's pretty long right now.
Yeah.
Joe, good to see you this morning. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.